These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
As Peanut comes over.
Yeah. This is what Zyra does. 3-minute clear, and I'm in your bot lane. Hello. And Peanut, a very good opportunity to get a very clean dive off. They want to go for Henna as Cleanse and Flash come out. They exhaust, and the stun is not quite going to land. They have the damage finally, but it's First Blood that does go to Rel. As meanwhile, in the mid lane, Zeka trying to trade here against Closer, and one auto will do it. Zeka gets the win, picks up the solo kill in mid.
Relevant in a 1v1, whereas Closer's is not.
That's the ult to come down. Clear in a bit of trouble here. Some poke coming down. The electrocute also going to land, and Clear is trying to back under his own turret, just getting Aurora'd. Meanwhile, Peanut's here.
Henna is so far behind in farm. He cannot die here. Zeka's roaming.
Yeah, this is a 4v2, and there's no cleanse, no flash for Henna. Delight goes in. It's just the easiest gank of all time. Delight is overcommitting to this. Just saying, okay, I'm not going to get out, but I don't really care because we're going to take the win anyway. Peanut very low, but it's a double kill to Zeka Zeri in the bottom lane.
It's certified, Valdez. Here we are. And yeah, he'll take a small CS deficit in mid, but look at Doran TPing in to actually catch a significant amount of this wave here. It's not even that much lost on the map. Look at where the wave is top side. He's going to come up here now. He will interact with Raptor. Does have level 6, so has to be very cautious about how he wants to fight this one out.
It's generally not a good feeling. And this time, Peanut, you know, he was on the bottom side of the map. He wasn't diving, though, so it's just more pressure. And he's just going to pick up an early Ocean Drake, which is quite good as well, just to continue with, you know, the extra sustain for all of the lanes so that they can feel very good about putting on even more pressure.
Significant later on if they can get some time alone in the side, but that is right now not looking like it's going to be happening anytime soon, but could be huge for Closer if he's given some additional time or if they end up getting a Baron later on. There's ulted.
Yep, and you're going to be stuck in that for a while. He goes forward as he has his whole team nearby. The exhaust comes down from Delight as they were just trying to take a 2v1, and they're like, oh, you're all here.
So they got an additional plate in mid during all of this as well. And now they're just going to say, we're getting Dragon and Herald. Sorry, B&K.
Yeah, just get it for free, and then B&K try to take fights afterwards because they're just not going to have the raw damage to chop through that.
Yeah, those stats are always going to be relevant, basically, in every comp. Some comps better than others, but still, okay, they do have the cannon flank.
Well, they're going to catch Leona. And here comes the cannon flank. Viper in a really rough spot, but now he's just going to die, but the rest of his team is just going to kill everybody else. He's like, okay, I did my damage, and yes, I'm Jin, I can't quite get away, but who cares? We got the Rift Heralds, and we're going to win the fight. They're looking for more. They try to get Clear. Clear is going to actually hand the kill over to Closer, but now Closer in a bit of trouble. Zeka flashing in. He wants another one. He's not going to have it, but it's still a big one fight by How Life Esports.
And unfortunately, the cannon flank wasn't really well timed with Duro's engaged.
So I think it is really a big deal as Cleanse immediately comes out here. Henna, man, he's just trying to get away from all of these shots. He is going to avoid the fourth one, but man, he hasn't had a fun time because, you know, if you're allowing Peanut to pick up Zyra and just run the bot lane and essentially win the early game for you, the enemy jungler is just going to look so useless.
And they know where the cannon is. They push that mid wave through. Clear has to clear it. No pun intended. And Hanwha Life are like, cool, your rat's away. We're taking down the dragon. Raptor's rooted.
He's getting stunned up. I mean, he doesn't get to play the game. He's just 100-0'd right in front of everybody. And down he will go. Even the Aurora ult just for good measure. And Henna once again left alone. Nothing he can do. It's a third kill for How Life Esports. This is one of the cleanest games I've seen Hanwha play. And they are just being ruthless here in their victory. It will be a third Drake to them.
Yeah. Soul Point. Huge team fight win. And they didn't even need the team fight win.
A little bit eyebrow raising was the one where they lost to KT, but even Gen G lost to KT, as now they're going to go in, they're forced to, and Zeka is just tanking the MF ult. He doesn't care. And he will live for now, although the entire team is chasing him. And now he's going to sail the wall. He gets away, and the rest of his team makes his way over, and they're just going to absolutely demolish the rest of B&K. Clear is still chasing Zeka, still looking for the angle, but the fight's already over. And Zeka got away scot-free.
In their options. I don't even blame Duro for the attempt, because if you see an opportunity to lock down a Zeri like that, you go for it. And that's maybe your one way back into the game. It's a huge bounty that would have picked up 1,000 gold.
3 or 4 layers. He's just kind of in a great spot.
He's getting
now.
preserved, Valdez,
Yeah.
for the late game that I don't know if we're really going to get to him. We're 25 minutes in. Maybe this is the late game when the Zeri is already on 3 items. We've just kind of jumped through the mid game and now we're here.
Yeah. Keep in mind, you certified the Zeri moments like 9 minutes into the game, and he was 3-0. So, you know, besides Peanut's carry from the jungle, besides Delight setting up a lot of plays, it was also Zeka all over the map and getting a solo kill as well. Doran's going to throw an ult down and, well, not hit anyone, but he zones them away from Mountain Soul, so that's still valuable.
Yeah. And just going to tank this turret because they don't care.
Yeah.
And Baron buff just going to allow them to stack this wave here in mid. They're looking for the first inhibitor turret. Peanut has a wave coming bottom as well.
You see that the Jhin with Mountain Soul and plated steel caps is 116 armor.
Okay,
The
so
Jhin.
yeah, that's kind of a problem. I was going to mention the plated steel caps earlier. It was maybe a premonition. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
all this armor. If the Kennen can't TP flank, maybe he can take the long way around. He's pulling a pull bay.
Yeah,
But he's
still
rethrowing
flanking
now.
to this day. Pull bay, that is. And I guess Clear in this game, who has come back, he has stopped flanking, and Zeka's just going to ult them and say, well, you can't really get away, so I'm just going to shoot you. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say, guys. This game has been kind of a done deal for a while, and it looks like HoloLife Esports are finally putting an end to it after they get the Baron, as well, Duro, he was there, I swear. I think he was. As finally Claire gets in, Peanut will actually die to the last turret shot, as the B&K stance is actually not half bad, but now they're going to get ulted by Doran, and everybody's just getting shot down by the Jhin, as Viper will clean it up, and that will be an extremely clean first game victory going the way of HoloLife Esports. Yeah, it's very strong, especially if you have a bottom lane that you can pick Poppy into. You know, like if they pick up Kalista Renata or something, you're not playing Poppy.
Still going to beat Grubs, going the way of B&K, so a small victory here could have been bigger. Perhaps if Closer's ultimate does connect there, they get a flash out of Delight. They get these Grubs. Technically, you know, in air quotes, win the fight. So, small boon for them as bottom side here. Viper's not really ready to fight, but Peanut is. He's going to come over here and try to steal this red buff away, kind of smite this for the steal.
Yeah, and Peanut, oh, wow, Henna's going to go in on that, and Peanut now in a really awkward spot. He's got Delight nearby, as Henna did flash in for that one. Peanut pushed away from the fight, though.
Now just clearing top side, so eventually you would imagine B&K will commit.
Yeah. It's the one thing with, well, we're going to have to hold that thought as Peanut comes over with Daisy. Remember, Clear does not have his flash, and there's really nowhere for him to go. He's so far down the lane. The knockup is going to miss from the Cassante, and Daisy's just a little bit too far out. Meanwhile, we got a fight down on the bottom side. Raptor is going to hit the minions with that one, so is still going to send this leap in onto Delight, and here comes a bunch of damage into him, but he's Poppy, and Mom is going to help out in the trade as well for Viper. Duro will taxi onto the minion, but so many low health bars here on the side of B&K, they will have to back away from this one.
Tanky. Yeah. Viper gets a bunch of stacks off of the exchange as well, and Closer's in trouble.
Oh man, the big one gonna come in. The flash auto from Zeka is clean, and he picks up not a solo kill this time, but it's another mid-win for him.
She should have been. This time, Smolder doesn't have any kills, but he's feeling good about the game state.
Oh, that's a nice knock back on a Zeka, but there's just no follow-up. So, knockup from Daisy, and now Duro, he's not level 6. He's actually pretty squishy, and he doesn't have his flash. He's just free food for the side of HoloLife Esports, and they will take that happily.
Being forced to flash by Henna moments ago, they still are never able to grab control of this dragon. Viper is getting plate gold in the bottom lane, and he is just stacking. He is just vibing. He has 86 stacks here at 11 minutes. Pretty good pace. It's just a big Smolder problem that I don't know if it's going to be solved soon.
Knock away from the Alistair. Now Henna is alone, and a bunch of damage is going to be put into him. He is going to eventually go down. He does use his barrier, but doesn't even bother to flash. As, again, it's just another kill onto the Poppy this time around, and it's more wins for HoloLife Esports.
2 kills on the Corki, another win in the bottom lane. No reprieve, and then Delight just keeper's verdicts. And that means Henna is all owned.
We got an all out in the top lane, but Doran immediately is going to see Henna here. Dodges the missile, and now Knockup's going to come down onto Henna, kind of in an awkward spot himself with Delight there, but not going to continue following on that. So, bit of a skirmish there. We already saw what happened down in the bottom lane. Just more wins for Viper, who's just getting free farm and is 30 CS ahead of his opponent. Duro, though, is in the top lane, going to flash in and, well, just kind of run around a little bit, as now Delight's in a lot of trouble, or rather, Delight is totally fine, as the ult comes in, and finally, the closer will be able to take him down, but it's 2 kills to the side of Peanut, make it 3, a triple kill for Ivern underneath the top turret. Meanwhile, Viper's just solo farming.
Yeah, he's just chilling. To be more relevant later, Zeka is also trying to grab an additional plate here. Won't be able to, even with the cannon minion, as they do see the rotation coming up of Henna.
About really doing much at all except farming.
Well, especially when you consider Peanuts at 100% KP and has also just been kind of relieving some of the pressure down there. Not that there was really any to begin with, but yeah, dividing them. I mean, Delight's had a fantastic game. Maybe the Herald going over to Hanwha Life. This one's pretty much locked up. I mean, I feel like if you're BNK, you don't want to, but you're probably starting to think about the T1 series, because this one just does not look like it's going to be it. 30 CS behind is not an acceptable scoreline for this draft. And
where you put on more pressure, and they kind of didn't either, right? Like, they're not going to scale as well with Kai'Sa. They're not going to put on pressure with this, and it just kind of sits there and doesn't do as well. Meanwhile, Zeka is barely going to live against the turret. At the end of the day, like, he doesn't really lose much except some melee minions. He doesn't need to be the carry. Like, he just needs to not die and just be present in the team fights.
He just is able to be down here and say, oh, if no one, you know, eventually Clear will have to kill those minions. I'll lose some, but like my whole team is on Dragon. If anyone comes down here, we just collapse on them, and you know, I'm just chilling.
Go for the guild people for like 500.
You should get the Dawn Core this game, I feel like, with how this is going.
Yeah. Gonna get a sleep here on the Delight, but remember that this is, yeah, he's got an Ivern nearby. The heal does come in, and Delight is finally maybe gonna go down, but only after the trade onto closer, and Henna's just alone in a 1v2 against, well, actually a 1v3 as Daisy is also helping out. Doran finally gets his time to shine, and this is just gonna be a clean ace to the side of HOMLA Esports, as easy as you'd like, unless Clear somehow, very nice dodge there actually, might be able to get away, and that he will. And, yeah, even Daisy's getting in on the action. Will she die? Clear, desperate.
Way faster. Peanut is just putting brushes up, and let's see. Give it your best shot, BNK.
How are you going to engage onto this?
You can't.
I mean, they need to get somebody in those brushes. They need to get some amount of vision, and they just don't have any. As the Baron is getting pretty low, they are thinking about a turn. Look at the damage that Viper's doing on the right side. Everybody on the side of BNK has to back away, and they just had the Baron leash the entire time. They take it down before 21 minutes into the game.
Kills would have been on other champions, and then they'd be even further ahead, but he's going to use the gold to get that 2-item spike. And they're going to take out this inner. Clear's in trouble.
Yeah, Clear's been doing a good job of not dying, but he's just going to collapse. All of that stress is Peanut just tanked 3 turret shots without realizing. Maybe just for fun, you know.
No,
Peanut,
keep those minions alive, you know.
Yeah, I mean there's some validity to that actually. You know, get in, tank it up, keep that wave alive, and they didn't quite do it this time though. So kind of funny. Still gonna hit the turret, and they still have enough damage, and Viper still hasn't died, so he's holding on to that Smolder perfect KDA in the LCK, and that's just a ridiculous number. Not a very high kill participation in this game, but he had some happy gaming time, and you and I are just the biggest Shojin's haters. Yes. Like, I don't know why, but it always just ends up that way. Yeah, he's just not going to be touchable, I think, in this game. Ocean Drake does go for free over to HOMLA Esports. It is over 10,000 gold to lead into HOMLA Esports, and HOMLA are just a better version of BNK, I feel like, in many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Doran going in.
Uh-oh. All right, Clear. It's going to be okay, and Doran is extremely tanky, and he's got shields as well. As Mom going to help out a little bit with that. Actually, a lot of it, as in goes Viper, and he's looking for a bit more. He's got a gigantic shields with the barrier and the Ivern, and you're just not even going to chip away at his health bar at this point.
I mean, they could just basically end. I mean, they have this wave here, Cannon Minion working on these Nexus turrets, Doran just keeping everyone at bay.
Yeah, they don't want to end because they want to have some fun and maybe get a penta for Viper. It's not going to happen. as the first kill goes to Zeka. Probably the rest of them will go to Viper, though. No, a double kill for Zeka, actually, as he really wants to deny the Smolder from getting any more kills in this one. It is a battle between mid and AD carry to see who is the best of the AD carries. And this time around, I guess it's Zeka, but it doesn't really matter. The game is over. 24 minutes and Hamalife Esports ends. BNK, they put them out of their misery. And that is one of the cleanest 2-0s.
These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
Palu is able to roam a lot just because the MF pretty self-sustainable, especially into the two of them, as long as she doesn't get caught out too much. Moham also roaming a bit. Kingen comes back and he's totally fine, but down 9 CS.
Yeah, wasn't able to stop the back of Morgan there, but won't be too impactful. Lucid is getting closer to level 6, and he can make a much larger impact. Obviously, Young J pre-6, really tough for him to get much done unless there's like a dive coming through or something like that. Opportunities, as he is looking for Morgan right now.
Yeah, bit of pressure, but that's Meganar, and he's going to go in onto Lucid, who is just going to be taken down. Lucid not respecting the Meganar, goes in, gets punished. Palu comes up as well. And that's going to be first blood for the Giga Chats.
I mean, this is a great start for Bro, to be totally honest. I mean, Fate was under a lot of pressure, but wasn't forced to flash. Ends up maintaining CS parity with Showmaker. Top side, the Gnar is winning the matchup, gets the Mega. They bait him. Speaking of baiting.
Yeah, Palu just going to go in there. They threw the bowling ball in, and they said, well, they're probably not in that brush.
So they clearly wouldn't. They're not there, right?
Bowling ball cleared it out. They're diving mid as Fate's in a lot of trouble. He is ticking down, and down he will go to Showmaker, who already has 4 stacks, and is dancing his clone in front of Young J and Palu. So he's like, well, I just got to get away from him. He's too strong.
Lucid's going to get this Dragon, which is going to be some additional stats here for Showmaker.
Hextech Soul.
Ooh, Hextech Soul plus the Infernal to Showmaker with the Luden's Companion he already has. Kingen is just going to be like, all right, well, I still have a health bar.
And yeah, generally Showmaker does get the Luden's gun into the Soul Stealer, as Moham's just kind of out here trying to ward, and he might die. As over the wall comes the Meganar, the wall-up will hit him as well as the house, and that is just a very straight-up kill onto Moham.
Fortunately, Morgan's not forced to flash, and I mean, that's another kill. Going over to Bro here, who will also pick up this Rift Herald.
All right, Palu gonna knock 2 away, and the rest of the team is pretty committed to this one. Moham's already through the gate. Palu pretty low as Moham will go down, but it's another kill that does go over to Moham, actually, but another stack into the hands of Showmaker. But the Rift Herald was taken down by the side of Bro.
Denied. DI, you know, like with a denied with E-Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also said viable before.
I know.
I didn't want to say anything, but, you know, with a What was that? What did I just see?
All right.
You're dead.
I'm a Bro leaver now, Valdez. He's completely caught out. Morgan's able to crush over the wall, and over here.
Okay, they're trying to kill first mate Fate, and he will be going down. Another kill into the hands of Showmaker.
He doesn't comment on the flash.
Well, Moham's dead again, by the way.
Yeah.
We do have a Hextech Drake that now is going to go into the hands of Bro. I do feel like a lot of DK / Showmaker teams really struggle when they are the big favorite, because things just get a little bit too messy.
They really do. And again, Bro have taken this team out many times. They took them out to go to playoffs. I think it was in 2022 summer. And big upset when they played against them in playoffs, and unfortunately for them did not win said playoffs match, but it was a very cool rematch. Bro, still 1,000 gold behind here nearly. His ultimate, so I don't think they can really catch him. Well, not a 4th time.
Not again! This time, Lucid will go in, and Palu is, well, he's level 6. The rest of the team just left him to die, and now the TP comes in for Mini-Gnar. But if it's just on the map randomly and only used for disengage 95% of the time, generally not a fan. As Morgan is going to be forced to flash, actually gets hit by the engage barrel this time. As aiming is going in, he really wants to get this one down, but now he's just going to be slept, as will the GP. Here comes Lucid again, but this is looking good for the Bros as the ult comes down. Kingen is on the run, and Lucid is just being ticked down here by Young J, who is super fast. We got a TP coming in as well. Fate looking to collect up on the top side, and these two are just pretty much dead. Down will go Kingen, and down will go Lucid.
Showmaker's just not here. Doesn't commit a TP to the play. They don't match. That will be Bro expending some big tools, but absolutely worth it. They can start Baron at 21 minutes now. Showmaker is not in position. Bomb is relatively nearby, but Alone can't get anything done. These death timers are just too long. I think this one is just straight up gone. There's the TP from Showmaker. Let's see if he can carry this one. 2v5.
Oh, he's almost got aiming with him as well. Palu gonna charge away from the chains, and here comes aiming. That's one kill, and everybody's up against the wall. They're all going down. The Baron is going to be secured by first mate Fate, but that's all he's going to be able to do. As nice blast going to get away from that one. Youngtae going in, but he's being chased down by the Zeri. Very fast here is the Lilia, but eventually does just get chased down. So many kills are collected by DK by the end of it all.
Moham going in.
I guess we're just killing Palu once again, as he is in a really rough spot here. The only question is who's going to get the kill. It's going to be Kingen after the flash. Here comes Showmaker. Once more stacks. He already has 10, so he's going to need to build a Magi's.
Morgan and crew are here. He's got a Narbar. This looks like soul point for Bro, and they will take it. D+ not able to actually come over here, but they're going to siege up this mid turret.
Yeah, they should be able to get this mid tier 1, especially because Showmaker is really just embracing the side lane LeBlanc and only going when they really need.
Yeah, Hexgate out is over here.
Uh-oh, Palu once again, just free food, gonna be taken down. That's the 6th death on the Poppy. They just keep finding him, and he's like, no, it's fine, I got Keeper's Verdict, I've got, you know, Steadfast Presence, I'm Poppy.
Half of the deaths across both teams are the supports. This has not been their greatest day. It was Moham who was getting picked a lot early. Now it's more on the Palu side. As these teams are ruthless. I mean, it's a pick comp for D+, so it does make sense that if you do get caught and you don't have Steadfast Presence, or you only have one Steadfast Presence, that you will get picked a lot in this game. But I mean, look, Showmaker's not made of money, okay, Valdez?
True, yeah. I think you should go Magi's as well. The sleep is going to come down onto him and Lucid. Moham's just kind of here. He's like, hey guys, I thought we were fighting. And chasing down Showmaker is Youngtae. Showmaker goes back in, goes into the Zhonya's, but he is absolutely dead. 900 gold picked up by the jungler of Bro.
The Cannon Barrage would have really saved Showmaker there. Well-timed W coming out from Youngjae as the Zhonya's expires.
And you pointed it out, like the Mimic chains that come out is like, well, now you're dead. As Kingen, he's got his Cannon Barrage now, but man, Youngjae's doing insane amounts of damage right now. Kingen, very nice flash, by the way. Very showy in that one, able to get away from Morgan. Meanwhile, his team able to pick up tier 1 and mid.
So Bro keep getting kills, right? I mean, the kill score is close.
Also on the flank here.
And Morgan doesn't have his Gnar anymore. This is super frustrating for Brion here, as aiming's just starting this one up.
Well, we got Showmaker on the flank. He's outside of the bush. He's just going to show himself to Fate, who does take an insane amount of damage. There goes Kingen flying, as it might just be a straight-up flip, as Youngtae not going to get it. Lucid does pick it up, and immediately Youngtae dies. Showmaker gets in the backline. It's 3 kills for DK, just like that, plus the dragon.
Yeah, that's the denial of the soul that they needed. I think Alone contests. They know this is likely going on, but they're just a little bit too slow on the rotation. They don't have vision. And Showmaker is lurking.
Oh, Palu, no, not again. Oh, okay, that Steadfast Presence lasts for a bit longer than Showmaker was expecting. They need to get presence there, but they just couldn't, because it was Mohammed aiming just there the whole time, as Showmaker just going to be maybe 100 to 0'd here as he hops back, and he's not hopping anywhere else. Down he will be taken, as, you know, Showmaker will play with his food. He always will.
Yeah, it might be selling the Dark Seal for a death cap. You know, we are getting, like, Showmaker's probably like, you know, look, I'm going to get a raise of a few inner turrets across the team.
Right, you tick in a little bit of gold along the way. Even if you're not farming, everybody will be stronger later on.
Yeah, I mean, right now he doesn't he's not full build. And if he's able to just survive long enough to get more money, he will.
Okay, so Moham's here for some reason. Kingen is also going to get ulted as he throws down the Cannon Barrage. This is a very messy fight, but now aiming just going to be ulted away. And Showmaker TP'd into this one.
Still not ideal. That's a big ultimate down for this next objective fight, but they're winning the health bar trade. Until that.
Yeah.
Now they're not.
That's the thing. The poke in the late game from LeBlanc and GP is just so hard to deal with. Really never heard that before.
Yeah, no, like we haven't used it in a while because it hasn't always been fitting, but I think this is the game.
Yeah. And even though it is, you could just do that and then take Baron instead.
Yeah, and we'll eventually get that LDR, and that's going to be the big spike that
You think?
looking for. Do we finish it though?
Do you think aiming will double Flame Horizon? Be part of the poke war?
Look at the flank here from Lucid while Kingen is ending the game. There's not a whole lot of options here for Bro. They need to be decisive, or else they're going to just lose this one. Kingen's going to TP, or rather, be TP'd on to the top lane. That's where they put the address in.
Giga Chad, give Hextech Soul. It's fine. No, they're going very late game. I can see the angles.
The season.
Yeah, that was my understanding. He receives the gold as they're gonna ult first mate Fate and he's just dead. So nice little pick. You know, that's I think that's like the second time we've seen Vi and LeBlanc put their abilities together. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Alongside of the GP.
All right, D+, eyes on the prize.
They've been really focused in this game, but now they've been the most focused.
Let's see them take out that inhibitor and see if they can collapse Showmaker on the flank. So he's making use of his gold. He's only 49 CS away from the double Flame Horizon.
Yeah, and you know, that's just on the horizon. We do see Lucid going in, the ult flash, and down will go Samber! He didn't exist before, but now he really doesn't exist. Youngjae also gonna have to flash away. And well, DK, they finally agree, we're gonna stop playing with our food, aiming, flashing on top of the enemy team, and they will eventually just clean up the rest of Bro. Bro, a immaculate defense, just beautiful stuff from them, but at the end of the day, DK just too powerful, and aiming will do 8,000 damage and not die a single time in the game, and pick up the POG and the Gold King this week. Congratulations, as DK will take down the Nexus for game number 1.
Damage to champions, a big fat goose egg under Samber on that last fight. I think that really says it all. It's more about the ultimate and the wombo combo potential with the Rel. Lilia can help set it up. Showmaker's going to be playing Zeri into Corki, which initially seemed like it was a pretty risky pick when we were looking at some of the first players who were picking it up, like Bulldog. Have to finish strong. He had to.
Yeah. He
play
had to.
Poppy with Electrocute.
He had no choice. It was the only way.
-1 ranged minion here for Fate, but will hit his level 6. Is having a pretty good lane so far into Showmaker's Zeri. We've often seen the Zeri, like I said before, really win this matchup pretty convincingly. Now Showmaker has level 6. Not really at the angle for an all-in just yet, with Fate having full health off the TP.
Ghostic was doing it, playing the Lilia, just diving top, getting damage in. Speaking of which, Lucid is top, as that's going to be the flash already utilized by Morgan, and he just knows he's pretty much dead. He's going to try to go into the alcove, but yeah, he will get the stun down onto Lilia, but it's still going to be a kill. First blood does go over to Lucid. Here comes Palu and Youngjae, flash on in, but now it's a 3v2. Do they have the damage as well, as Fate is going to come on up, but not quite enough to get it done. And now Showmaker is going to join. A big Zeri ultimate onto 3. And he's got a long lane up here as well. The stun going to miss. And do they have the damage to get on this one? As the Rel goes in, Moham going to set this up, and down will go Palu as well. It's a double kill for Showmaker Zeri.
Yep, pretty happy to certify that one at 650. Then the better your chances are of really snowballing this pick, especially into a champion like the Corki when it's not in the bottom 2v2, a lot more agency, less CC to worry about.
We always talk about this, but when skirmishes get a bit risky, Zeri will always come out on top, as Moham in a bit of trouble. Is going to get hit by the combo of the Varus and the Nautilus, as finally Youngjae will press his ult button and take down Moham. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they really want to make a case to take down this Chemtech Drake, but I just don't see it. But perhaps they see something that we don't. Palu going up top. They have a TP coming in. They want to fight for this big time, as Lucid nearby. He will get the smite down, but the follow-up with a 3-man knockup comes in, and the cannon over the top. That's 2 kills over to the side of Bro. And they do collapse in and kind of even up the gold here.
Yeah, going to be a TP top here from Fade as well, since the teleport was committed by Morgan to set up for the slicing Maelstrom.
Uh-oh. Well, it's just a free kill, aiming one at it.
Relatively freely scaling. Maybe the Samira, who's a little bit more relevant in the early mid, should have had that one. But I think either way, you're pretty happy that Morgan and Bro knew that we didn't know about fighting over that dragon. A lot of contest around the jungle right now, so I'm not sure if we're about to jump in that replay or not. If Paulo doesn't die, it feels even better. Yeah. As we're just kind of 3v3 in the bottom lane. King in.
Here we go. The barrels are going to land, and now the Slicing Maelstrom utilized. Has to try to get out of this one. Does Morgan, but the flash is in. One more Q. Could do it, and King in will shoot him down. Takes down Morgan in a 1v1.
Barely is able to close the gap there to get that final Q. Bro's starting up this Herald without a ton of control. Showmaker on the flank top side.
Yeah, they also don't have Slicing Maelstrom here, as they're going to get the hook on a Moham, but immediately he's just going to turn and fight. DK are like, hey, if you want to fight right now, sure, let's go. We're ready to throw down. And the Swift Herald is just being toyed with, but it's just going to go the way of Lucid. Paulo goes in. He's very angry about that, but now he's just going to die. As now the Rel will get the engage on it, and aiming is spinning around a million times a second. As finally we do have Morgan going in with the Slicing Maelstrom, but it's not quite enough damage. It's just a little bit lackluster at the very end. Some resets will come through for Youngjae, but he will be taken out as well. Another double kill for Showmaker.
Kills for Showmaker. They pick up the eye, what was not able to be picked up in game one. Don't even need it to take out this mid turret with a decisive teamfight win that comes with the Herald. And so 2 turrets off the play.
He also can barrage the top lane. So he's just getting CS. He's going to go into the Rift Herald and smash into the turret. And Morgan just going to throw a Slicing Maelstrom in there, just desperate to try to survive. But the burn will come in. It's both GP and Lilia burns. And he just disappears, disintegrates into thin air.
Showmaker catches the wave up here. The top barrage did happen, as you mentioned, to help him out. So no cross map for Bro. No minions yet. Yeah, it's coming over though. Morgan's ult is also coming up. They're gonna have to TP.
Yeah, TP comes in. The hook is gonna miss. Showmaker is gonna get ulted. Heartbreaker, but he's just living under the turret. Finally gets taken down by a Shuriken. And now the turn does come in. Samber also super low, but they do trade onto Kingen as well. And it's a crazy, wacky dive. But it's okay for now for the side of Bro. Aiming, looking for the turnarounds here. As Youngjae will not be getting that one there. Lucid also around and trying to get this fight going and trying to open up the space for aiming as Lucid is incredibly low. In goes aiming. Now he's going to hit that S rank and finally will get the spin onto Youngjae. And it looks like Morgan as well will be run down. The mobility of both the Lilia and the Samira just a bit too much at the end of the day.
For the Samira anymore. Great hook.
Well, yeah, Lucid just kind of running on in, and he is not going to be punished for it. This Lilia is just so slippery, you can't lock her down, even with the Nautilus. Very frustrating for Bro. And with the Baron spawning, they're just going to, well, do it.
Yep. And, I mean, he had to use his Hourglass earlier, but he's just so slippery, like you say. Even though the hook is fantastic, and he wasn't aware of it, they did have Moham nearby, and now Showmaker's back. And they're going to take Baron on spawn here. And this 6,000 gold lead is going to become 7.5. Actually ends up splitting this team in half. There's more that goes on there than what we just showed. But the crux really was the time buy from Showmaker.
Who's ganking who here? He's going to look for Lucid. And the sleep will come in. Lucid gets it onto a couple of guys. Youngjae is going to buffer out of that one. Here comes Morgan, but he is just going to be ulted and killed. So good
nice
effort.
Flank.
Yeah. But that's about it. No more sleeps will come in, but a lot of damage from the Lilia. Now setting up the Samira. Nice ult here from Palu to deny that. But they have damage in heaps from the side of DK as Showmaker comes in on the flank. And Youngjae, he just abandons ship.
Oh, you picked the Nautilus to ult the Zeri! And once again, CC is used on one target, and then the other target ends up cleaning the fight. This time it's not aiming who cleans up house, but Showmaker. And with the Baron for 40 more seconds, this might be one of our faster games this season. They've got a cannon minion here. They are ripping these Nexus turrets apart.
Yeah, I mean, with the last bits of the Baron, it should be enough, but Moham is going to tank the turret, and the death timers are very low, so DK just going to back out of here, play it safe. Gold numbers for us.
41.6 to 53.2.
Thank you. DK is very far. So now that is very obvious, Youngjae is going to die, and, well, DK, they give themselves another opportunity to boost their KDA, and they will get it. Should be a clean ace, although Lucid gonna be boomed to smithereens. So will aiming, actually. Crazy amounts of damage coming out from Fate and Morgan, especially without the exhaust. Well, he poked him. That wasn't enough.
Yeah, we'll need the CC to stop the teleport, but you know, he's back at home being like, I don't know if I'm really helping. I don't know if this is actually really going to be enough to actually save the game. May buy some time, but that's about it.
Yeah, he's not able to clear the wave, and I think that is just going to do it. They go in onto Fate. They want 4 kills. There are a couple of guys alive, but if you just hit the Nexus, the game will end as King is having his fun, but it does not matter. GG, DK will take the 2-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.